If we could show you a way to be able to, in just a few minutes, how to create offers that convert more clients, would that be of interest? If so, you are going to love today's session, today's segment, because today is all about how to create an irresistible offer that converts more clients and ultimately helps grow your profitability. Now, it makes it so that your clients actually want to buy from you instead of needing to be sold. So today we're going to introduce you to a handful of concepts. The number one mistake that most people make in building an irresistible core offer. Number two, why focus on creating an irresistible core offer? Number three, a checklist and blueprint for it. And the 8 key elements, as well as immediate tools that you can use. That's what you want, right? If that's what you want, then make sure to stick around, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. And if it's not what you want, well, then I'm sure there's some other entertainment out there. If you're new to our world, we're famous for a concept called direct response branding. Bring responsible and profitable marketing, direct response marketing, combined with branding where you're building your identity and reputation in a smart, productive way. And when you bring the two together, it's a tide that lifts all boats. In our core model, there are 5 key elements we found that every successful company, in reviewing over 5,000 companies, have in place. And you miss any one of these and your profits leak out of the business. One of those core elements is the vision and growth plan, where we focus on building irresistible core offers. So why focus on creating an irresistible core offer? Well, let me share the number one mistake that most people make. And we'll go through a lot more of these, and we're going to give you our 8-step checklist. But the number one mistake is they don't make it irresistible. We don't make it irresistible. And in fact, even the most successful experts in the world, I've heard people like Dean Graziosi, and I've heard people like Russell Brunson. And if those names don't mean anything to you, no problem. But also the statistics live in everyday companies like Apple and so on, that for every one successful winning offer, there's about 6 to 7 that are not winners. So what are you to do? So the first thing you want to do, and we're going to come back to this, is to make it ITSN. ITSN, that's the whole focus of an irresistible core offer. I'm going to come back to this and what that means in a little bit. But here's why to focus on creating it. Number one is it's going to enhance the perceived value of your business, of your offer, right? It's going to enhance your perceived value in the marketplace. Irresistible core offer with well-crafted bonuses can significantly enhance the value of the product or service being offered. By including bonuses that complement the offer, the customer perceives greater value for their investment. Number two, it increases your differentiation. You know, Sally Hogshead is famous. She says it's better to be different than better. Now, I believe, why not do both, right? So it does increase differentiation from the competitors in your marketplace, which, what does that do for you? That gives you a competitive advantage. Again, is that what you want? Next, it's going to help you influence the decision-making process and help speed it up. How does it do that? By the presence of valuable bonuses, it helps tap into your potential clients' emotions and desires. It creates a sense of urgency and excitement, almost a euphoria done correctly, triggering customers to make the purchase and take advantage of your offer. Next, it helps increase conversion rates. An irresistible offer with a well-aligned bonus structure has the potential to increase conversion, right? Increase conversion. It also is going to help, done correctly, Now, by the way, we're going to show you how to actually structure this in literally researching hundreds of thousands of offers over the years on TV, on radio, on the internet, and a whole bunch more. And it's going to help you overcome potential obstacles and objections, as well as move people forward with your offer. Next, it's going to help build trust and credibility. It's one thing to get a customer to buy once. You know, John Paul DeJoria is famous for a quote. He says, you know, you're not in the order business, you're in the what? You're in the reorder business, right? So you want to have lifetime customers ideally. So building trust and credibility is incredibly important. And also, your bonuses should address the specific pain points and provide solution to your customers' needs. Now, how do we do all this? What do we need to do to make that happen? Let me walk you through it. So first, we want to focus on getting inside your prospect's head. What are the problems your clients face? And as importantly, how do they describe them? Not how do you describe them, not how does your team describe them with slogans and logos and all these different things that can sometimes get mixed in, but how do they describe? A great exercise to do is go on Amazon related to your product and see how people are actually typing and describing how they explain it. Or go on Reddit and type in some of the things that you are connected to and find out how people are actually, and use their language, the language of your client. What are they worried about? What keeps your clients up at night? What keeps them anxious and worried and concerned and maybe dealing with some insecurities, right? Next is, what breakthrough outcome, transformation, or experience do you provide? We call this the BOTE. You want to create BOTEs for people. Create the BOTEs. Give people a BOTE. Give them breakthroughs, outcomes, transformation, and experience. Another way to look at it is the dream come true solution. You know, if you could fill in this blank for your product or service, you can do this right now and map this out. If you could just, and then fill in the blank of the dream desire that your clients want. Now, a lot of times it has the ability to get more doing less. So you could figure something like that out, and then that leads, again, we're going to talk about it at the very end as we close this out, is your irresistible offer. All the things we're structuring here is the ITSN, and we'll cover what that means in a second. So here's the 8 steps. And not only going to walk through the 8 steps, but then I'm going to introduce you to a tool that you can use as a checklist guide to be able to do it. So the first step in this process is you want to define your problem or the problems your clients face clearly. The worries, the concerns, the weaknesses, the fear, those sorts of things. Once you do that, that leads to an offer that solves the main problem, the number one problem, the biggest problem with the biggest opportunity, with the biggest value, is what you want to focus your main part of your offer to solve. Then you want to create an offer that's unique, that it's the only place they can get it is from you. It's not available the way you deliver it anywhere else, right? So what could you create to do that? Now, a couple ways to be able to do that are these next few steps that we're going to talk about together in bundling it. And we like to help clients like you create bundles. It doesn't matter whether you're an e-com business with nutraceuticals, or a high-level service business, consultant, coach, financial advisor, etc., or anywhere in between. You can create offer bundles. We've done this in service business. We've done it with plumbers. We've done it with electricians. We've done it with 180 different types of industries. We've helped guide through this process. So you create an offer bundle of things stacked together. And what are those things designed to do? Now, in an ideal world, you're going to have 3 attachments to the main core offer of what you make available. And those specific 3 things are designed to overcome the biggest objections or obstacles your clients are facing right now, right? Which is why step number 1 is so critical. If you only know 1 problem versus 4 problems, it's going to be real hard to actually create a bundle together. And these bundles, by the way, can be things like education. These things can be, I don't know if you've ever, studied or looked at the sports industry. But the sports industry, many moons ago, there was a gentleman who invented, essentially invented a baseball. The modern day baseball, he invented this baseball and changed it because it used to just be this thing that was kind of like a sock and, some stuff inside of it. And so he invented a baseball, and what ended up happening is the ball was harder, it was firmer, and also it went a lot further, which made the game more entertaining at the time. And what ended up happening is then, because it was being hit harder, it traveled further and it was faster, guys were getting hurt. At the time, they didn't play with a glove. And guys who did play with a glove, they kind of shamed them and made them feel terrible. And so what did this guy do? He said, okay, well, I got a baseball, so he invented a glove, what became the modern day glove. Long and the short of it, he grew his business and then started offering informational products to show people how to be good at all kinds of sports, because he got into basketball, he got into other sports, and he offered golf. Became a big thing at that time. Obviously we're going back decades and decades and decades, but think about how you can take your business that maybe is the core business, but then add in educational pieces or tools or other things that simplify or create, things that make it easier for your clients. The people that make it easier are the ones that win. So create an offer bundle that overcomes some of their deeper problems. Next is, how can you create a guarantee? Or what could the guarantee be? Don't be going, oh, I can't create a guarantee. Yes, you can. First of all, I believe it's mandated federally, at least in the United States. If you're in other countries, there's probably things that exist there too. But the fact of the matter is, a guarantee is a risk reversal. But don't do what everybody else, we're going to give you a satisfactory guarantee. And no, treat your guarantee like a product. What do I mean by that? Name it. Dan Sullivan has a great quote, name the game, own the game. So name your guarantee. Like one of our clients right now is in the real estate space, and they name their guarantee the peace of mind guarantee. We're going to give you the peace of mind guarantee. Now think about that. You probably never heard of a peace of mind guarantee called out like that. Again, it's like naming a product. Peace of mind guarantee, and then there's explanation to it. It's super simple and easy and makes it easier for someone to say yes. On top of that, what can you do to create scarcity and urgency authentically and genuinely? We don't have time to go into all the details of this, but I will encourage you, if you want to maintain a brand for the long term, if you want to maintain a good reputation, you want to maintain trust and respect, make sure that whatever you offer has scarcity and urgency if you're using it, which is a great strategy to use, but do it with authenticity. Don't make up things that don't exist. For example, I'm sure you've seen this. I'm sure you've seen it as well. It burns my grill when I see people that I admire and I see what they do with their offers, and they go, oh, we're closing it down on such and such, and then what do? They open it right back up. It's a shame. Now, you can extend an offer, but say you extended it, don't have a fabricated urgency play and then open it up. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, genuine urgency and scarcity. Ultimately, social proof, right? What are the 3 to 5 best stories where they've got a before version and an after version, a BA, a before and an after version of success with you? So before you, they were struggling with these problems. After you was the heaven. In other words, what was the hell before you? What's the heaven as a result of working with you? And showcase that. So every single offer, every single product, ideally, that's a needle mover for your business, ideally you take through this 8-step process, and that leads to pricing structure. And again, we don't have time to go into all the economic side of things because there is a science to pricing. But what I will share is if you follow this model, these 8 steps, what will happen is you will find that you can be in a premium price game pretty easily, much easier than you've probably been led to believe. We have clients that were like $500 a month experts and became $5,000 a month experts by applying what we're showing with you right now. It works, and it can work for you if you take the time to do it. Now, this is something we actually do and walk through our clients, and this is a picture of a tool we have that essentially takes each of those 8 steps and breaks them out, and it's a fill in the blank. We use these ourselves internally. We have our clients use these. We work with them in collaborating these. We flesh these out, because if you can create a 1-page offer, it makes it much easier to test, doesn't it? And here's the key. Test it, right? When you get an idea, lay it out with something like this. Take that idea to paper, lay it out. Then what do? Then you go market it and test it. And then what will end up happening, a lot of times it'll refine it. But what a lot of people do is they do the opposite of this. They come up with an idea. They think the idea is amazing. They create all kinds of supporting assets for that idea. Then they go to test it and it falls flat. And they've wasted time. They've wasted many times lots of money, lots of time. And it's frustrating, isn't it? Have you ever been there? You know what I'm talking about. I've been there in my earlier. I'd love to say that I've had the Midas touch all these years for 32 plus years doing this at the time of this segment. But I've had a lot of failures along the way, right? And I want to encourage you, fail fast with your offers. And here's the thing. The number one reason that most people fail in their business is they don't have an irresistible offer. They might think it's something else, but it's usually related to the offer. So focus on putting your offer together, whether it's through us with a 1-page toolkit like this, or you take what we just shared and put it on a sheet of paper or two and you write it out. However you can organize it, I encourage you to take action and put this in place and realize, what is an irresistible core offer? An irresistible core offer is that it's irresistible. And what does it do? It's the ITSN. ITSN, what does that stand for? It makes it virtually impossible or almost impossible to say no to you. Almost impossible to say no to you because the offer ideally is 10 times the value, maybe even more perceived, not from your state of mind or heart, but your clients. They feel it, and if they feel it, they'll get it. They'll buy more often. They'll refer people. They'll become advocates for you. They'll become champions for you, and a whole lot more. And if that's what you want, then I encourage you to take action with this 8-step roadmap. Take action, map it out. Focus on using this 8-step checklist to help you create more offers. Then what do? Make more offers. Once you test it, make more offers. Because if you're only making 1 offer a month or 1 offer a week or 1 offer every couple weeks, the maximum you can get is that. But if you make 1 offer, 2 offers, 5 offers, 10 offers a day, or 1 to many, right? You have a higher probability of greater impact, greater results, greater ROI, and a whole lot more. And again, by all means, I've repeated this a bunch of times in the last few minutes, test, and don't be afraid to get some help, right? The Lone Ranger, the Lone Wolf goes at it alone. Well, the Lone Ranger actually had Tonto, didn't he? So the Lone Ranger had Tonto. He was smart enough to have someone to assist him. How about you? if you're trying to go at this alone and many times you can be too close to it, whether it's through us or whether it's through someone else, work with people who can help you, who have expertise, who are pros, not amateurs. Pros, not amateurs. They got a proven track record. And oh, by the way, if you'd like to go deeper with any of the strategies we've talked about, we've got an entire process mapped out, not only of this, but many other tools that we're going to give you access to immediately as part of today's segment. If you want to go deeper, we've literally got our new book called Direct Response Branding, where we bring direct response marketing together with branding. It's a tide that lifts the boat to help you it's a new model to create exponential business growth without the headaches at the end of the day. And what's great about this particular book, it's designed a lot like a recipe book. So guess what? If you go to the back of the book in the index, if you're this type of person like I am, where you like to jump right to it, like ultimate pricing formula, page 191, unique offer, page 135, 36, 38, 39, and more. Short videos, how to create videos that convert, page 60, I believe it is. And the list goes on and on. So if you'd like a recipe book to help you grow your business, build irresistible core offers, and a bunch of other things at the end of the day that are going to help you get more leads, more appointments, more clients every single day, then I want to encourage you to go to breakthrough3x.com/fast. Right now, go to breakthrough3x.com/fast. We're going to give you 98% off this special bundle package. Not only will you get the book, you're going to get about $1,000 in tools that we're talking about here and now, and you're going to get our business growth video training that complements the book, plus our marketing growth blueprint toolkit. Why? When's the last time you updated your marketing plan? Well, how great would it be to have a current marketing plan that's actually geared to help get an ROI? Now, maybe you haven't, and if you do, God bless you. Is it time to update it, up-level it, take it to another level based on a certain market condition? Either way, we're going to give you that, plus we're going to give you access to something that is going to become more and more prevalent as we go forward, right? Video. And not just creating video, but would you like video that converts more clients? Well, if so, we're going to give you our video conversion checklist that through the psychology, through the testing, has produced hundreds of thousands, actually millions of dollars in results using video and other platforms like audio too. We're going to give you our ultimate CEO checklist, because let's face it, have you been formally trained as a CEO and founder? Probably not. If you're like most, maybe you're the one out of 10,000. I know I wasn't. I have a CEO's checklist up on my wall. It's been updated over 20 some years, but I've been using a version of this for about 20 some years now, and it helps me, and it will help you. It's going to help you map out your year, quarter, month, week, and days for you to manage and run your team and operate your team like a CEO and founder can, and do it profitably and more simply than ever before. On top of that, we're going to give you our 9-step ultimate hiring toolkit. Why? Because a lot of people struggle to hire. A lot of people struggle to get, a lot of people make bad hires. A lot of people put a lot of investment in time and energy into hiring and then get frustrated. So what we did is we developed a checklist that we've used to hire thousands of people over the years. That's like a marketing system for hiring. It'll help simplify for you. You get all of that, by the way, at 98% off. Plus, if that weren't enough, we are going to give you access to a one-on-one custom scaling session if you're ready for that. If you're really ready to grow exponentially, if you're really looking for a way to get help with execution, or you're looking for a roadmap that can take you from where you are to here, we'll have a one-to-one conversation. We'll identify where you're at, where you want to go. We'll look and share with you the top 3 to 5 things we would do if we were running your business right now to help move it to the next level. If that's what you want, take advantage of all these tools, all the bonuses. Go to breakthrough3x.com/fast. That's breakthrough3x.com/fast. Not only will you get the entire book bundle package, we'll get you the free custom one-to-one scaling session. And if you're someone who's like, Dan, I don't need more ideas. I don't need more strategy. I get a lot of that. I want execution. I want to implement. If that's the case, that's what we do. We are a fractional CMO team that helps clients execute and implement so they can get more leads, appointments, clients daily, and take it off their plate so it can free them up. However, all that being said, I would still recommend you go take the first step, because this is just going to get you an understanding of our psychology, our philosophy, and our strategy in an easy, simple way to consume and digest at your pace. And then if you want to skip to the front and learn how we can help you implement and execute this stuff, go to breakthrough3x.com/apply. That's breakthrough3x.com/apply. Pretty simple. Again, that's a one-to-one scaling situation. So as we wrap this up, the tools you can use, all tools that you ever get should be tools that you could use. There's nothing worse than spending money or investing time on something that's a tool that sits in the toolbox and never comes out. What we're sharing with you today is like a hammer. You're going to get a lot of use if you pull it out of the toolbox. So what tools can you use? The Irresistible Offer tool. Whether you model from what we just shared with you, or you get the book and the bundle package where we give you access to these tools, you can get that, and or we just help do it with you and for you. You can do that too. Focus on the problem you solve for your clients. Start there. That's the number one key. Then test, test, test. And then by all means, if this doesn't work, what do? Pivot. Pivot if it doesn't work. So apply the 8 key steps, define the problem, focus on the offer for that problem, create a unique offer that makes it unique, different, as well as better. And you can do that by following the rest of these steps, which is create an offer bundle, name your guarantee, focus on how you can create authentic and genuine authenticity or scarcity and urgency, use stories that are relevant to that offer specifically, and by all means, certainly make sure there's a positive ROI and you know the benchmarks and what is going on. So that being said, take action, apply it, and what if you got this in place, can you start to see how you'll convert more new potential clients to clients? Can you see how you can create a better experience for your clients by having something that is the ITSN? It's virtually impossible to say no. Impossible to say no because of the value, because of the breakthrough, the outcome, the transformation, the experience you create. If so, take action, apply it. And if you want to go deeper, by all means, take advantage of the book bundle. If you have questions, please hit us up. You can find us on all different types of platforms. Easiest is to email us, which there's probably an email somewhere here on the page or in this video somewhere. But by all means, take action with this info. One great offer can change your life. I mean, what is the offer from Apple meant to their business? They were a struggling, fledgling company, and they ultimately came out with some new products. And ultimately today, they are one of the biggest brands in the world today, right? Think of any company. Most of them had an evolution to get that irresistible offer that also had longevity. So I don't want to get you into a place of overwhelm and burnout, but here's the thing. When you get an irresistible core offer and you learn to master this capability we're talking about right now, guess what? You can repeat it. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And whatever business you choose to use, you can take this tool or set of tools and capabilities to go apply to anything you do ever again. If that's what you want, take action, apply it. Seize the day, make it a great week, and we'll see you on another segment.